Red Bull Leipzig, second in the Bundesliga. The referee is Kunit Kakia. And away we go then. This game, Champions League game, hopefully we've got the sound back and you can hear us loud and clear coming through. Live on the JB Clark YouTube channel, Red Bull Leipzig in the darker shirts. I'll run through the two lineups as soon as we get a break in play. Well, it's our last 16 Champions League game coming to you live. And an early shot that just goes wide of the target. I'll run through the two lineups as soon as we get a break in play. And that's certainly, you certainly are hearing me now as we see the early shot going in there. I think it was number 21. Schrick with a shot that just goes past the right-hand post of Lloris. It's 0-0 and 43 seconds gone. We've had one or two sound problems here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Timo Werner in behind again. I haven't had even a chance to catch my breath in here and run through the two lineups yet. The ferocious pace of this game. Number 7 now, Sabitzer on the ball. Running at the defenders. And now number 22, Mukanele. Another good cross. And Spurs in trouble straight away. Now off the post. Oh my word. Angelino with the shot on the far side. And already Leipzig are really having to go here. Now another ball played in there. Chance here for Leipzig. Saved by Lloris. And then turned away for a corner. And Spurs under pressure. Let me give you that Spurs lineup very quickly because we haven't had a chance right from the word go to start the game. It's Lloris in goal. Uribe Alderweireld, Sanchez, Davis, Winks, Fernandes, Lo Celso, Ali, Bergwijn and Mora. No recognised striker for Tottenham tonight. Leipzig with Konasi, Kosterman, Abadabdu, Halsterberg, Mukiele, Lamina, Sabitzer, Angelino, Lukaku, Werner and Schrick. Referee tonight comes from Turkey. My friend Kunit Kakia. Duran and Ungun are the two Turkish assistant referees. Fourth official again is Mr. Mailer of Turkey, and VAR should be required Mete Karalan of Turkey as well. Excuse the pronunciations as we look at Jose Mourinho there on monitor. We just had one or two sound troubles at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You can comment now if you are listening along. That's why we've been a little bit slow getting on in time. Well, now we'll give you the two substitutes benches. Spurs have a free kick, however. Whilst that's been taken, let me run through the Spurs bench. As I say, no recognised strikers. So it's Gazzaniga, Fatonga, Lamela, Dyer, Undambele, Oliver Skip, who's about 19 years old, and Taganga is the other final substitute for Red Bull Leipzig. As I say, lying second in the Bundesliga. Odara, Poulsen, Forsberg, Abdullah Lukman, former Everton player, of course, Wolf, Olmo, and Vogalgo. In the Bundesliga. So back live with you. Obviously, comment respectfully in the comment section below. 3 minutes gone. Apologies, as I say, about the sound delay or the sound problems we had at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's been a long day, and if you haven't seen the question answer session video yet, you can watch that on demand a bit later on. Yeah, it took me by surprise too. We just got back online, just about to get the two teams as they kicked off, and Red Bull Leipzig have started like an house on fire. They've started like a train. It's been a rip-roaring start to the game. Anyway, back with the action. We've had about three and three-quarter minutes of the first half, nearly 4 gone, and Tottenham have a throw-in, which Ben Davis will take. Remember, no recognised striker. Dele Alli is probably going to lead the line, or Lucas Moura is probably going to lead the line. Here's Ali up on the left-hand side there for Spurs. And then the ball played back by Alderweireld, who scored one at the wrong end and one at the other end, at the right end against Villa on Sunday. And now a long ball forward, looking towards Serge Aurier. Well, it was Bergwijn, in fact, to try to get him behind, sorry. Bergwijn, the man who won the penalty, which Son put away to make it 2-1. Just remind you, no Harry Kane, as you already knew anyway. But there was but Sonny's out. He's broken his arm in a freak accident back at home, which Jose Mourinho tried to over-dramatise it in yesterday's press conference as we come up to 5 minutes gone live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Tottenham 0, Red Bull Leipzig 0. Well, we will be until about 10 to 10 tonight. So we'll be coming off the air straight away at the end of the game. So, very tight schedule this weekend. And of course, we'll be having a lot more Champions League football, of course, next week as well. Next Wednesday, in fact. Atletico Madrid against Manchester City. Real Madrid against Manchester City is our featured game. Here's Werner inside the area. Werner shoots left-footed, charged away. I think it might have been... can't tell who the Tottenham defender was there, but here comes Spurs now trying to lead out. And Harry Winks, I think, was the man who made the block inside the penalty area. Werner has it. He's one of the most sought-after strikers, or being very coveted by other big German and European clubs. Timo Werner, his goals have ultimately got them into a position where they could still conceivably win the Bundesliga crown if they could pick the all established sides. Remember 10 years ago, nice little backstory, 10 years ago when Jose Mourinho was winning his second European Cup with Inter Milan in Madrid against Bayern Munich, Red Bull Leipzig were actually starting to play a match in the fifth tier of German football. Now their rise, as we just see a break there by Bergwijn, it comes off the corner flag off Nukaeli for a corner. So Spurs have got themselves a fortuitous perhaps corner here, but maybe after the nightmares of the first few moments, I think a bit of luck is overdue there for Tottenham. They have a corner. Come on, you Spurs, is the cry from this vast arena. 60,000 here at this vast, big arena here, built on the side of the old White Hart Lane. Lo Celso with the corner towards the far post, but it's knocked away. Now the ball hit back in there, and a chance for Ali to reload once again. A little bit casual, maybe, that attempted through ball. Ball will break to Lo Celso on the near side. This is the left-hand side. Oh, now then, there's a chance here inside the area. And a chance here, shot comes in. Oh, and it was Bergwijn with the shot right-footed. The goalkeeper could only palm it away. And then Dele Alli couldn't hit the target on the follow-up. And, well, he might have been offside anyway. May have gone, if that hadn't gone in, I think VAR would have had something to say on that, I think. Wasn't the best of goalkeeping, I have to say, by the Leipzig goalkeeper, Galassi. But one thing is for sure, this is going to be a really tight and compact game. A lot of pundits saying that Leipzig are a very impressive side. It's the first time I think I've seen them this season. But they can't be flashing the pans if they're second in the German top flight. But their rise to prominence has not been without controversy. There's a lot of perception over in Germany that the energy drink Red Bull, which is the RB, of course. So let me just break off for a second. As Leipzig go for goal again. This time it was Schluck with the shot, left-footed, and well carried in by Tottenham's captain Hugo Lloris. Yeah, in fact, there's been a lot of controversy about this, that they've been more or less financed by Red Bull, which is, of course, an energy drinks manufacturer. They also sponsor Salzburg, of course, RB Salzburg, but Leipzig have had all that backing, and yet the other German clubs that are run very well, actually. They run the football teams are very well over in Germany. Meanwhile, free kick, and that's ridiculous. So it's a first offence, and I think Kakir is very, very ridiculously silly with the cards. This is why I don't agree with him being a UEFA referee, because that's no more than a chip. And if you see that in the Premier League, that's just a free kick, nothing else. And there's nothing wrong with that just being a free kick, no more. I think Giovanni Lo Celso is a very unlucky man. I think to book a player so early is very, very ridiculous for Mr. Kakir. And it's not the first time I've criticised this same referee before. I've done European matches in the past where he's been trigger happy with his cards. I just hope and pray that he always seems to get English teams as well, by the sounds of it, as well, Mr. Kakir. That's why we commentate on him so much, or criticise him so much on European evenings. I remember doing a game here early in the season when Tottenham played Bayern Munich. We built it up into a right frenzy. 10 minutes gone here, 0-0 at the moment. But Leipzig coming close. Also, Bergwijn coming close as well for Tottenham. Remember, without a recognised centre forward, because there's no Harry Kane, as you already knew. And, of course, no Son, because he's broken his arm in a freak accident at his home. Of course, you can comment respectively in the comment section, and of course it goes without saying that you can leave. If you want to leave a like, please do. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you are a first-time listener, remember all these rules. And of course, there's a video on that. If you go onto my actual channel homepage, there's a pinned video expressing the rules and regulations, what you can do or can't do on the comment section. There was one or two iffy questions during our Q&A this afternoon, which I didn't particularly take too well, and if you want to watch that video back, you can do in your leisure, as well as this game if you miss it. I know Nick Caton isn't there. He's gone to the theatre, I believe, tonight, or he's gone to see a show, I think, of some importance, but he says he'll be back for the last 15 minutes, so he tells me. So we'll watch that space. Anyway, here comes Lucas Moura. Ball a little bit up and under. 11.5 minutes gone here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You've missed nothing in the way of significant actions whilst I was nattering on about the comment section. And play on, says to Mr. Kakir, the referee. And now the ball in field. A chance here now for Nkuku, but he's lost the ball, and now now then, I think, yellow card again. I think this referee's going to be trigger happy with his cards. Didn't look a particularly good challenge. It's Sabitzer, the skipper, who's been booked. Falder and Bergwijn, I have to say that's another harsh decision. He's only a fraction late. I think Mr. Kakir needs to just settle down a bit. He's trying to write his own name over this, and it's not the first time I've criticised this particular referee, as I've said before. And I don't know why he keeps getting these big Champions League games, because he's clearly not good enough, and he's certainly not up with play, in my opinion, being a Turkish referee. That's nothing against Turkish referees, by the way. And now this is getting beyond a joke now. This another decision. Fernandes, I think, has been penalised here. Well, he jumps into the back of him, but it's just a free kick. I just hope the referee referees it with a bit more common sense than he's already done in the first 13 minutes. I really do, because it's not really been good enough from Mr. Kakir. All the officials, as I said at the start, are from Turkey. We'll just have to see how this one plays out, as number 22 here on the ball, Mukiele. Back to number 16 here, Klosterman. Ball forward over to the far side, and then the ball knocked back in by Angelino. We'll go it in by Hugo Lloris. No one's commenting on the comment section. Why isn't people commenting tonight? There's 11 of you currently enjoying it, unless you're enjoying the commentary or learning it yourself. You know, I'll give you a shout out. There's no problem about that. Don't forget, we'll need your comments in the second half, good ones, because JB Man of the Match is in operation, as Karachi absolutely hoists a nice kick forward from a bit of an up and under back pass. Nkunku on the ball now. Number 25 is number 26 is Abadou. 14 and a bit minutes gone here, and here's number 27, Lema, getting it over to the far side. This game being played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We have another Champions League action next week. In fact, on my birthday, believe it or not, we've got for you Manchester City away in Madrid. So I'm going to be commentating on my birthday on the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid, Manchester City. Of course, it's a good grounding for me, because We'll be covering Manchester City on the Sunday as well. On the Sunday, a week on Sunday, we'll have the first domestic cup final of the season, the Carabao Cup final between Aston Villa, who we focused on a delay stream the other day. It's been very well. They come close with Bergwijn as earlier on. Here is Bergwijn now on the left-hand side, infield again. Winks takes over, but loses possession. Apart from that one chance for Bergwijn, nothing else has happened. Absolutely none of us. But Red Bull Leipzig look every bit threatening, and Werner has it on the far side. This is Timo Werner, their star player, trying to get Sabitzer in. And in fact, Lo Celso covers, and it's a corner kick to the German side. You actually hail from East Germany as regards West Germany. Of course, Germany these days, a very unified country these days. But their rise to prominence has garnered quite a lot of controversy. Anyway, here comes the corner, far side. 2, 4, 5, 6 in black in the darker shirts. Sabitzer, Alstenberg, Werner all in there. Referee making sure that that order is restored as the corner comes in. Mukalele is in there too. And the header comes in. It's a free one. Oh, it should have gone in. It should have gone in there. Red Bull Leipzig so close. He just misses the right-hand post here. Just trying to get aside to who it might have been. And in fact, it was Slick who got the header in and should have scored. He was unmarked, static defending from Dele Alli. And that goes in, and if that's on target, that goes in for Julian Nagelsmann's side. That should have been 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig. Remember, away goals count, I think, after 90 minutes in these two-legged European games. Second leg, incidentally, is in Leipzig on March the 10th. So, I would say probably about 3 weeks' time from now. We're just having one or two technical issues, of course. This is something that always happens when you get into a spirit of the game sort of thing. But nothing's happened here significantly so far. There's no goal scored up until now. And as well, if you haven't seen the... I just want to point you in the direction of a great documentary that's been shown by BT Sport. You can watch it on their website, actually, Greasy. It's a profile of Jimmy Greaves, or a life story of the great Jimmy Greaves. Should be a Sir Jimmy Greaves. The amount of services to charity and to football and to broadcasting. He did all sorts and more. As we just break off for a second. Oh, and a chance there for Slick in there again. And then Sabitzer gets his shot off. The ball got a deflection. It was a bit under-ish. And Tottenham struggling here at the moment to get the ball away. I don't think Jimmy Greaves, if he's watching at home... Of course, he's very ill at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be watching somewhere at home. I'll just go back to the documentary in a second or two. It's worth a watch. I'll tell you a bit more about it in a second. This is Timo Werner. Into Angelino. Back to Werner again on the far side. Ball breaks kindly here. And a chance inside the area. And a real opportunity now for Nkanku. Has to go the long way round. Might have to chip it, mind. Nkanku gets his right foot shot off. Angelino with another shot. And well fielded by Lloris, shot from the left-hand side with the left foot. And now Lloris pointing it forward. And a chance here for Bergwijn. Can he get past the defender? He's brought him down. It's Lucas Moura, in fact. He's brought down number 23 there. Or number 22, maybe. 20. Yeah, it's Alstenberg. Alstenberg has been fouled. Lucas Moura, not the tallest of men. I think he goes down a little easily there, Halstenberg. I don't think this Turkish referee is going to... I think if anyone breathes on any players, I think the Turkish referee is going to be liable to give free kicks. And some of them have been nothing decisions this far. I think Mr. Kakir needs to just get his brain into gear. Not been impressed with his refereeing in this opening 20 minutes. Which we're nearly at now. I'll come back to the Greasy documentary in a second because the game's been played at a ferocious pace. Angelino on the far side finds Timo Werner. Plenty waiting in the middle to his right, but it's turned out for throwing. So yeah, Jimmy Greaves. It's a 90-minute documentary. Good bedtime watching if you want to watch it. You'll be able to watch it on BT Sport. You can listen to it, of course. BT Sport shows a profile of Greaves' playing career, his battle with alcoholism, and of course his television career, which started at ATV in Birmingham back in 1980 when he worked on that Star Soccer programme. There's been a goal in the game between Atalanta and Valencia. That's not the only game taking place tonight in the Champions League. Atalanta 1, Valencia 0. So Atalanta have had a good spell of at the moment in their club life. I mean, Atalanta used to spend most of the time when I was growing up watching Italian football. They used to be buzzing around Serie A and Serie B, trying to stay up there, but they've had a good couple of years, and at the moment, if they were to get a positive result, so is Crouchy playing. I bet Tottenham wish they were. Trev, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Trev. Hope things are good down at Television Centre. Anyway, yeah, so give Greasy a try on BT Sport. You can watch it on the BT Sport app and the BT Sport website, free of charge, of course. As I say, it charts his playing career, his battle with alcoholism, and of course his television career, which, as I said, started at ATV in Birmingham on their Star Soccer show back in 1980. And he went on, of course, to have success. He even had his own chat show, I remember. And he appeared on great shows like Saint and Greavesy. Remember the Saint and Greavesy? But a great linchpin for Midlands football in his punditry career. Trevor says, evening JB. Panini says, hello sir JB. I don't know where he's getting this sir from. I'm just a humble pokey old commentator doing a good job and a good service for everyone. We need 1 million signatures for me to get united. Anyway, here come Red Bull Leipzig, of course, in the dark and red shirts, and the ball inside to number 16 here, Klosterman. The lighting in my commentary position is not the best, I've got to tell you. I'm really struggling to read my notes. It's the first time I've ever commentated on Red Bull Leipzig, and I have to say, from looking at it so far, they look an impressive side. This is Werner, second, of course, in the Bundesliga in Germany. Their rise to prominence from the fifth tier over the last decade has not been without controversy, as I've alluded to, with the association with the Red Bull energy drink. Obviously got millions of pounds in the bank they've thrown at the club. A bit like Manchester City in some ways. Some people think if they do win the Bundesliga, they've bought it illegitimately, but it's not a team full of world-class players. But the big name really in the Leipzig player is Timo Werner. He's a terrific player, and he can play on the wing, he can play in the centre of the park, and he's a very deadly player. Here's another good player, Angelina, taking it down on his chest on the far side inside the Spurs penalty area, and getting across comes shotting, which Gudson Sanchez. Fernandez gets a good cross. Yeah, absolutely not popular in Germany. Absolutely not popular with Panini. I don't know why your message was being retracted, but I can read it on the other one. But I get where I get where we're coming. And don't forget, any people that are going to try and spam, absolutely anonymous, Trevor and Panini and myself are all on tonight. I said any four of us at any one time, and we always have it there. And but anyway, 23. We're halfway through the first half here, live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out Trevor's channel as well, Trevor Sports. And you'll have round 3 of his alternative Six Nations Championship on Grandstand, on his Grandstand program on Saturday, and I'll be watching when I get back from work Saturday evening. I won't be able to watch it when it comes out initially, but I will be watching as soon as I get home. Six Nations Rugby. If you want the alternative view of a Six Nations, Trevor Sports your man, and Trevor Lynham's your man as well. Anyway, 0-0 here in the game. Of course, the real Six Nations Rugby, of course. England, Ireland being the centrepiece on Sunday. Our next, yeah, You couldn't, yeah. Well, you've got a better knowledge of rugby than I have. Ball into the penalty area towards Dele Alli. Spurs having a bit of a rare attack here in this first half as we come up towards the 25th minute mark. We're actually at that point now. And Spurs really need to dig deep. Remember, Son out with injury, having broken his arm in a bit of a freak accident, I believe, at home. And of course, we knew about Harry Kane. And you just wonder, should Spurs have gone into the market during January? There are talks, there are obviously rumours around that Daniel Levy is a bit of a Scrooge in these parts as regards spending money on the team. But you look at this vast arena and it's an impressive stadium in everything. It's brilliant. Trevor says, thanks JB, I'm currently recording in the studio links and I'm looking forward to my debut on well, I say debut, I'm not actually, it's not actually going to be me. It's my voice, but it won't be me. I'm under a anyway, you'll find out on in March. Of course, we've got the League Cup final coming up a week on Sunday, and we've got Champions League football before that with Manchester City. Here's Angelino into the area, and Trevor Werner. I nearly said Trevor. It's T-Ball Werner, not Trevor Werner. I'm reading Trevor on my monitor, and in fact it's Timo Werner. I got it mixed up with Trevor, but it was Timo Werner. Oh, he would have been offside. I think VAR would have quite rightly ruled that out anyway if it had gone in. Good cross there by Angelino from the far side. That's one for clips of the week, that one. My version of clips of the week. You remember, if you're an average TalkSport listener, on a Friday, Oxby and Jacobs play clips of the week, and I think if they heard that one and played it, I think that would get a few laughs in the pub. Anyway, here comes the ball in. Harry waiting inside the penalty area. Good header out. And just for one fleeting moment, I thought Spurs might get in there. This is Harry Winks now for Spurs on the near side. Into Davis. Back inside to Lo Celso. Panini talking about the rules of rugby. Rugby hookers and kickers offside if the player does not run towards the opponents. Yeah, it is a complicated... I'm more of a rugby league fan because I'm as I say, I'm a northerner, but I do like the Six Nations. I think it's a good watch. But club rugby union, I just can't get into. But the Six Nations is, to me, and the World Cup are the true rugby union occasions. I'm surprised you haven't got Rugby League 3. You could do. But who's second row for France? That's who I'm trying to learn. I think you should bring Rugby League into your stable of channels, of course. There's Rugby League 3, I think. Rugby League 3 or 4 out on the PS4. I know it's a bit of an old game, but yeah, I think a debut for Trevor French would be brilliant. Free kick to Tottenham. Foul there on Lo Celso by Schlick. Free kick it is for Spurs. If you ever fancy commentary, JB, oh, you bet. Hey, I don't mind. Trev, I've always wanted to commentate on Match of the Day and Grandstand, so these are like ambitions coming true. These will be ambitions achieved. The Spurs go marching in. It's 60,000 of them. There are quite a number of supporters here from Germany. Fanatical Leipzig fans. They're away over to my left-hand side towards the far end of the ground. But Spurs here having a few difficulties here, and Winks has had to knock that out for a throw-in. And again, a throw in there towards number 21, Schlick. And he loses possession this time. Now, what can Spurs do here? Bergwijn, who was very impressive so far. Yes, it did. Used to be on Grandstand. Still is on. Well, still is on the BBC anyway. They do a very good job of it as well. Anyway, here come Leipzig now. Forward again. Here's Angelino. Not much support, but he gets the corner off Davison Sanchez on the far side, and it will be a corner kick for Red Bull Leipzig. And really, it has been a very tough examination for Tottenham Hotspur in this first half. They've really been, under the old saying, under the old phrase, under the cosh. They've had one outstanding chance, but Red Bull have had 2 or 3 in the, albeit in the early exchanges, and Werner's come close for 1 or 2 set plays. In the ball, and it goes towards the near post. Oh, and Kunku was waiting as well inside the area, but Spurs come away, and Winks now. Oh, what tenacity, and Lo Celso as well. This is good football. Lo Celso towards the area, and as he stayed on side here, Bergwijn, he must have done, because it's a corner kick to Tottenham. I was a little bit in 2 minds whether he was offside or not, but Lo Celso here down the near side, the left-hand side here. What a great run! What a terrific run! And yes, he was onside. Yes, Ray French, a big St Helens man. He comes from St Helens, not far down the road from you, actually, Sue. Good commentator, and before that, the great Eddie Waring, of course. It's a knockout and all that. As the free corner comes in towards the foul line, and then the shot over the top. And a goal kick for Spurs. It might have been, in fact, Fernandez, number 30, with the shot. There's a bit of a crowding inside the area, and it brought to Fernandez on the right-hand side, who hit a right-footed shot that went over the top and into the stand for a goal kick. Well, we've had 31.5 minutes of the first half. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Red Bull Leipzig 0. And so far, amazingly, we haven't had any goals. And it amazes me because both sides are very good attacking-wise. Spurs, of course, scored 3 goals. 4 if you include the own goal that they scored for Villa on Villa Park on Sunday afternoon. This is Timo Werner on the near side, trying to flick it on to number 22, Mukulele. And another yellow card coming out here. That's the 3rd yellow card that's been shown by kick here. The latest one is Timo Werner, I think. No, it's not. It's number 27. And that is Lima, rather. Lima. Oh, is it? No, it is Timo Werner. I got it right first time. It is Timo Werner. I thought it was for the initial challenge, but I think this Turkish referee's too gung-ho with the yellow cards. It's not the first time I've commentated on him refereeing a game and saying something. There's the manager of Red Bull Leipzig, Julian Nagelsmann. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I just want to say, while we're on the subject of commentators, a happy 90th birthday to Gerald Sinstad, the former Granada commentator. Did the kick-off match many years ago. 90 years old today, so happy birthday, Jerry, if you're listening. Trevor Werner. As we see Sanchez foul for not Sanchez, Fernandez, sorry, foul from behind. Free kick to Spurs in a very good position here. No yellow card. Yeah, Jerry Sinstad, legend, introduced Elton Wellesby. Fondly remembered in Granada land, Gerald Sinstad. He was the man behind kick-off and the kick-off match for many years, and of course he did do a bit of stuff for Match in the Day as well in later years for the Beeb, but he's remembered certainly by Northwest football fans as the face of Granada sport in the days before Elton Wellesby came into the fray. As we see across there from Uriel, goes straight into the goalkeeper's hands, Galaxy. It's nice talking about the old days in between breaks of play. How it all used to be. Good banter, good game of football. No goals yet. In fact, on Friday night, it was the first goalless draw, I think, since October. One of the great sports commentators. Now, Steve Davis. Steve Davis? What's he got to do with it? Steve Davis? Oh dear, Panini. We're talking about Gerald Sinstad, not Steve Davis. I can't recall Gerald Sinstad doing snooker. He did football. And anyway, here we go. 0-0. And the ball back inside. Chance here now. Oh, the man free. It's Werner inside the area. Werner shoots. What a save. What a save by Lloris. Werner shooting right-footed. It looked to all intents and purposes there was going to be an away goal here for Red Bull Leipzig. And the flag stayed down. He was onside. There's the shot. Great save. And I honestly thought at this point here, guys, that Werner was going to open the scoring. But, well, great save. Into the penalty area it goes from the corner. And away by Serge Aurier, but not very far. I'll come back to the Gerald. It's a free kick, in fact, to Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, sir, Gerald is still Gerald Sinstad's still alive. He's still writes weekly columns for the local paper in Stoke-on-Trent. So he's still involved in journalism in one way or another, even at the ripe young age of 90 years old. And his 90th birthday today, a legend in Granada land, Gerald Sinstad. Right, anyway, back to the modern day. 2 attempts to 11 in Red Bull Leipzig's favour. 1 on target for Spurs, 3 on target for Leipzig. That was the latest chance we saw there for a second. And there is a foul there on Ben Davis, so a 3 kick. And Red Bull Leipzig have got a man down. Well, just to run through the substitutes, if I haven't done it, didn't so at the start, apologies. So Spurs have got Gazaniga. This is the benches. Gazaniga for Tongan, Lamela, Dyer, Undumbelli, Oliver Skip, and Tayanga, Aldara, Poulsen, Forsberg, Luckman, Wolf, Almor, and Vologo are the Leipzig substitutes. Now the player, I don't know who the player is down injured. It's number 22, Monkalele. Not to be confused with ukulele, which is a musical instrument, but it's Monkalele. Looks like the knee. He's got some strapping there around the left knee. There's the Leipzig fans you can hear in the background are making a lot of noise. I don't think it's going to continue, you know. I think they may have to be pressed into a substitution here with 37.5 minutes almost played. This will be a real blow for Leipzig. He's on his feet, but he's hobbling. He's hobbling very much. This is Nordi Mukiele. 20 passes completed with an accuracy of 83%. But I don't think he'll be making any more contributions unless they can get their old magic spray into operation. It's not looking good, I don't think, for him. He's hobbling around, and I think... Are they trying to put an injection of some kind, or is it... It looks like, for a moment, it might have been a little bit of a painkiller injection. He does not look good at all. I've just seen him down below me. Hobbling something wrong. We'll keep you updated with that. Yeah, great commentary. Gerald Sinstad. Ron Atkinson was alongside him that night, I believe. Barry Davis was on BBC's commentary team that night on the same night, albeit recorded. And I remember I've seen the commentary from Barry Davis as the cross comes in towards Dele Alli inside the area, but Spurs have to concede a throw-in. And I remember watching a clip on YouTube of Barry Davis in the penalty shootout about Schumacher moving off the line, you know, and quite rightly accused him of cheating. Also, he should have been sent off earlier for that Battiston challenge on by Schumacher. In fact, he should have been put in prison for GBH, if I recall. Battiston ended up unconscious with a cracked vertebrae and I think 3 broken teeth. So he lost more than so for Battiston it was more than a loss of the World Cup semi-final for him. Could have lost his life that night. Gerald Sinstad's finals hour as well was that game. Commentated in a couple of Northern Ireland games, I remember. I think he did the one with Spain when Jerry Armstrong scored, but I can't recall. It's 82. It was just a year before I was born, but it's always good to look these things up. Always a point of interest. Anyway, here goes Harry Winks now on the ball on the near side for Tottenham. But number 27, Lema, is across there for Leipzig takes the ball fairly according to Mr. Kakia of Turkey, who's not the best referee in the world. I think I've said that about 3 dozen times already this evening. Not the best referee in the world. As we come up towards 40 minutes, here's Werner. He's onside, the ball played in, and what a good tackle that was. Or what a good sliding clearance away there by Davison Sanchez, because that was going straight towards Strick, who's police reports okay, and his injury is fine. In fact, it's not Strick, sorry. It's the other guy, Nucleary, who wears 21. I'm getting confused. Forgive me, folks. This is Red Bull Leipzig. I've never covered them before. Commentary's not been the best so far. As the ball comes into the area, can we get a goal here before half time? I'm even my own self-critic. If you haven't seen the Q&A, your questions were all answered this afternoon. If you want to watch it, please do afterwards. And of course, I give Jimmy Greaves' documentary on BT Sport a try. A really interesting story. There's also a bit of footage from an old documentary from ATV, which was from 1980, which shows his battle with alcoholism as well. Shows a bit of that as well. Some great memories there if you're a Jimmy Greaves fan. Thank God Gary Newborn gave him an opportunity at Central and ATV, then Central in 1980. We would not have got the warmth and friendliness and the written humour of Mr. Greaves. Meanwhile, it's Werner on the far side in the modern day for Red Bull Leipzig. And rise to football in top table. As I said, not been without controversy. But 10 years ago, they were playing in the 5th tier. It was almost like the Vauxhall Conference, of course, of German football. And here they are now in a potentially 2 games away from a quarter-final of the European Cup, essentially. Here comes the corner again from the far side, but this time Fernandez deals with that one at the near post. He wears number 30. It's a very difficult game here. Remember, our next commentary will be on Wednesday, which is a week tonight, in fact, which is my birthday. We'll have a real, and what a birthday cracker we've got for you. I'm going to be commentating on my own birthday. Excuse me. Is Real Madrid against Manchester City. What a game to commentate on your birthday. And then we've got the League Cup final at Wembley Stadium on the Sunday between Manchester City and Aston Villa. That's a 4:30 kickoff a week on Sunday. The first major domestic cup final of the season. And what a game it promises to be. Villa, the first ever winners of the League Cup, against City, the current holders of the League Cup. So it's sort of back to future, that final. Anyway, here's a free kick. I'm sure a lot of you will be rooting for Aston Villa that afternoon. Here's a foul there with Schrick, a free kick to Red Bull Leipzig. We're now into the final couple of minutes at the end of the first half. We'll have a 5 or 10 minute break and then come back well in time for kick-off, hopefully for the second half. We had a bit of sound trouble at the start, but we managed to get the stream online just as the teams kicked off. We sort of messed up the build-up slightly. Don't worry, I'm doing that at the weekend with other friends, so don't worry about that, Panini. That's been taken care of. I've got other plans on that day. I have to say, Red Bull Leipzig have looked impressive on the attack, Russ. Spurs have had a couple of hard chances, but I would say Red Bull Leipzig have been the better side, and they look far more accomplished on the break than what Tottenham had done. That's purely and simple because Son is missing for Spurs, really, and they're not really come to terms with that loss, really. Anyway, here's Angelino. He's looked really promising on that left-hand side, in towards the penalty area. Angelino just slips as he crosses and miscues it, and goes out for a goal kick to Tottenham, who will be relieved to get in there at 0-0. But I have to say that Julian Nagelsmann's side have been the better side. Mourinho's got a lot to do here, and you just wonder, why didn't Spurs buy a striker at the window if they knew this was going to happen? They knew Kane was out, and if Son got injured, it doesn't matter how much time he might be out for. A broken arm's a broken arm, and that is a huge blow for Spurs and for their Champions League ambitions. Certainly in league football terms, and having won a dramatic game at Villa on Sunday. Chelsea were poor on Monday night, I have to say. 1 out of minute at the end of the first half here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In towards Ali inside the penalty area. He does well there. Good turn by Ali, but he's got his back towards goal. Oh, he's got away from 2 defenders. There was a couple waiting in the middle, and it's a corner for Spurs. Looks like they might have the last say at the end of the first half. He turns up a decent opportunity. That's a little bit better from Spurs. Just look at the way Klosterman's all over him now, like a rash. And then Alstenberg did really well. 30 seconds of the 1 minute to go. Don't forget, JB man of the match in the second half. As the ball comes into the penalty area, turned away quite comfortably there by Alstenberg. And then Werner completes the clearance. And I think that will be all, for the first half. Unless Spurs try and score from this round. There's about 4 seconds of the 1 minute. And usually these referees tend to blow up right on the 1 minute. And Mr. Kakia, right on cue, does that. And we're at half time. Goalless so far, but certainly a good game. Full of non-stop incident. Full of good attacking football. But no goals so far. Luis has made one telling save to deny Thibaut Werner earlier on. Leipzig have had the better of the chances, but at half time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it's Spurs 0, Leipzig 0, and Spurs will feel very thankful that they're going in goalless at the break. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back with a little bit of a chat, and then the whole second half live. Stay tuned. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Welcome back to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where it's 0-0 currently between RB Leipzig and Tottenham Hotspur. There we go. Let's see what's been happening while I've been away. Shall we play Guess the Snack JB's been having? Well, I'll answer that for you. I haven't had anything, just a cup of coffee. Practically that's all I've had. I'll tell you what I did have before the game, as we just see Atalanta scored there. They're playing at the San Siro Stadium in Milan, incidentally. A cup of coffee. I had pork chops with sausage meat in it, and I had some chips and some spaghetti. Proper northern food, that Trev. I've got to tell you, you've got to come up north, and you've got to come up north sometime and see us there. As Atalanta, in fact, I think make it 2-0 there, so I think they're 2-0 up in that game. What a result this could be for Atalanta. So yes, half-time in Milan, where they're playing their Champions League games this season, home Champions League games. It's Atalanta 2, Valencia 0. Yeah, you've got to come up north. Honestly, Trev, it's lovely. It may be grim weather-wise up north, but it's great humour up north. Fantastic. We're just waiting for the second half. So Spurs at the moment. I had caviar and lobster. Obviously in the south, that's a light snack. There's something that I could just see Des Lynam having, actually, Trev. Funnily enough. Yeah. Caviar. I've never had caviar. Well, you're right there in one respect. Yeah, that you had, JB. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Trev. I've never had caviar before. I'm what you call it up here, common as muck. You know, I'm very common. Yeah, if you look at my pictures and stuff, if you go on my Facebook, I'm smart. Most of me stuff. It's crap, by the way. It's rubbish, by the way. Oh, right, okay. Right, no. If I ever won £1 million, I'd get lobster and that sort of thing. But until I'm blessed with that sort of money, or I've been on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, because I'm applying to go on that with Mr. Clarkson, then maybe, just maybe, I might even start up a radio station. Yeah, who knows? And we can all be presenters on it then, can't we? You, me, Russ, Chris, everybody. We'll set, radio station that, we could set up a sort of rival to TalkSport then, couldn't we? Yeah, it'll be us doing it. Yeah, could all go into mainstream media. Yeah, so, but that's a long way off. I'd have to win £1 million for us to do that. And I've no idea what 19th, 18th century Treb Sport. Yeah, now that... yeah, I like that. Treb Sport. We can all be Trevors then for the day, can't we? Yeah. Get Mike on board as well. It's nice to dream, isn't it, lads? It's nice to dream, isn't it? Yeah, Treb Sport. I like that. I like that idea. This is why when we got Trevor on the chat, pork with sausage meat in it sounds like a right mixture. All I can say, God bless your belly. Hey, my belly's a temple, Sue. Thank you very much, and I've got a very good appetite. Thank you very much, Sue. And, that's why I'm well endowed, shall we say. I've got my stomach is all muscle. Not fat, muscle. I wish. But we're just waiting for the teams to come out the second half. So we're having a little bit of banter and all that. So while we're on the subject of, let's have a bit of banter, shall we, for the next 10 minutes, whilst we've got nothing else to do, whilst we're waiting to reconvene commentary. Do you think are you happy that I'm going to be commentating a week tonight on my birthday? Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm going to tell you my age. You can guess it, I think. We'll play a guessing game. It's my birthday next week. Guess how old I'm going to be. We'll have a little guessing game whilst we're waiting for the teams to come out. A little guessing game. As in fact, we see Spurs come out the field for the second half. 82. I'm not that old, Trev. Oh. No, you're completely cold, Trev. You're completely cold. 43. No, not 43, Ross. Lower than that. Lower. Well, you could get a game of play your cards right going, yeah? Higher, lower. No, I'm not 82 and I'm not going to be 43. I'm nowhere near 82, by the way. We're just waiting for the team. 42. No, lower than that. I'll give you a clue. Shall I give you a clue? Mid to late 30s. That's your clue. Right, anyway, Spurs are about to get underway in the second half. No changes, I believe, from either side. But if there has been any changes, we'll let you know. Just to remind you guys that 36, well, that's my age now. So I'll give you a clue. It's one more than 36. Okay? I could write you jingles for you. You could even sing them as well, Sue. Now, our Sue here is a very good singer. Yes, 37. Yes, I'm 37 a week today. I'm looking well off it. In fact, I was approached in Burnley Town Centre the other day by a lady trying to sell me something for a charity, and she said I look 25, which I thought was quite amazing, really, considering I've got about 3 million wrinkles on my face. Anyway, back we go in the second half, and I've got a few grey hairs steaming up on top of my head as well. Might have to get the Just for Men out sooner rather than later. Right, anyway, we've got a delay because there's a lot of what I can only describe as Andrix toilet tissue from the German fans. I think it's toilet tissue. I thought you were 43. Give me a break. I think it's a protest because there's a banner there I'm just seeing. Stand up for the price cap. I think it's to do with the price cap on the tickets, I think, at Leipzig, and that's why all that Andrix toilet roll has been thrown on to the field. So that's what's happening. We have a breaking play right at the start then of the second half, and that is not what we want at the start of the second half, in all seriousness. And there's more going onto the field now, and hopefully the stewards have got the last of it off now. Anyway, we're back underway now. Lloris kicking from his hands, 0-0, and here comes Spurs in possession. Spurs, incidentally, in the white shirts, Red Bull Leipzig, in their change shirts of all in the darker shirts. So it's sort of like a darkish blue, if I could describe it properly, with a bit of red trim on the bottom of the shirt. Spurs are taking the goal to our right in the second half, incidentally. Leipzig to the left, where all their supporters are based, where their supporters will just hold us up a little bit there for about just over a minute. As the ball comes back, yes, it's 37 years old next week, and I'll be in Madrid doing the commentary on Real Madrid versus Manchester City. What a game that really does promise to be. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's our next match. Our fixture coming up on the JB Clark YouTube channel. No Premier League fixtures this weekend because we've got... just wait a minute. Oh, there's a chance inside. It was Lucas Moore inside the 6-yard area. And Guzatski makes a great save, diving away to his right. Moore must have flicked this on. It's Aurier making the break down the right. Low cross in. Moore gets a little touch. And in fact, it's a great save by Guzatski. Wow, that's a fine save. And then the ball came back to Bergwijn, who hits it wide. I am definitely going to be 37 next week. I'm looking forward to it. Age is a number, folks. Always remember, age is just a number. You always feel as young as you feel. Okay, Trev, looking forward to it. Don't forget to drop some subtle hints during these links about me, will you, Trev? Only kidding. Right, back to the game, and it's Sergio Aurier now down the right-hand side. Just slipped slightly, but Soto did his marker Werner. and the ball is hushed back to Hugo Lloris. That was the first genuine chance of the second half. That opportunity there for Lucas Moura. Yep, long ball forward then by Spurs, looking towards Dele Alli, who's the furthest man forward. The ball breaks kindly here. Now a chance here for Red Bull Leipzig. They're, as I say, second in the Bundesliga at the moment, going very well. Remember 10 years ago they were playing in the 5th tier, the German equivalent of the Panorama National League. Here comes the cross, high one towards the back post, well dealt with there by Ben Davies at the far post, and the far right hand post I should say. This is number 21 Schrick now playing it back. Little chip in there towards the penalty area, but it's a harmless cross, and a chance now for the ball to be ushered for a throw in, which Fernandes does well. Gedson Fernandes is to give him his real name. Sergio Aurier to take the throw down on the near side, in line with the 6-yard box of Spurs. I'll come back to that in a second, Sue, why it was, because I feel I ought to mention again as Harry Winks goes down, free kick, so we get a break in play. Spurs free kick. Yeah, what happened, Sue? The reason for why the Andrix Lou was thrown onto the field was basically, or the toilet roll, it was a protest by the Leipzig fans at probably the admission prices, I think, to some of the games they go to, and maybe it costs them a lot of money, and so there's a price. There was a protest there. There was a banner raised so I can assume it was that. Anyway, Leipzig on the ball, and a free kick here. Schrick has been fouled there by Davison Sanchez. There's a conversation on the chat. I was beginning to look at all things pub food as Schrick goes down. Don't forget, JB man in the match comes into operation around about the 65th minute mark. So start getting your thinking caps on for a potential man in a match, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, free kick in a very good position here for Red Bull Leipzig. It's about 30 yards just to the left of centre. Luis is I think is erecting a 5-man wall, is he? Yeah, 5-man wall. Good guess there, John. Sabitzer and Sabitzer might have thought about taking it, but it's Nkunku who's going to take the free kick, and it's going to be the right foot, and Nkunku then with an opportunity. Now it's gone down to 4 in the wall, and Nkunku free kick right footed over the top of the crossbar, not troubling the goal or Hugo Lloris for that matter, and Spurs brave again. Goal kick. 0-0 is the score. About nearly 7 minutes gone in the second half. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Red Bull Leipzig 0. If you just joined us, Lucas Moura has had the best chance so far in the second half. Thibaut Werner has come closest for Red Bull Leipzig. That was back in the first half. So remember, these games are over 2 games. The second leg in Leipzig will be on March the 10th. Of course, Liverpool a little robbed last night in the very stadium they won the European Cup last season, 1-0. Here's Werner though inside the penalty area for the German side, and an away goal would be priceless for them. Werner gets the cross in, it's turned away. It will be a Leipzig corner out of here. They turn that behind, and this is going to be a real. This is always a real worry now at this point in time, because Spurs have been up against it for most of it so far. Referee's not happy that there's a bit of pushes and jostling going on at the moment, which quite frankly is not helping matters really. But anyway, here comes the corner into the penalty area, and it was a bit loose in there, and in the end Marcelso got it away. And of course Manchester City in action on tonight. But I can tell you that Atalanta are winning 2-0 at the moment in their Champions League game. In fact, we're going to go on to BBC's website and give you an update on some scores. There are some championship games taking place around the country, I believe. So we'll give you a rundown of what's happening elsewhere as well when we get a minute. It's 2-0 at the moment to Manchester City. And some Scottish Cup games going on this evening. But let's check in on latest scores in the Championship, if there's any games being played this evening. Of course, you know about Atalanta's scoreline. 2-0 against Valencia. There's a couple of games going on. Newport Salford in the EFL Trophy. That's currently 0-0 at the moment, and I think that has to be settled tonight in the Checker Trade competition. In the 5th round of the Scottish Cup, it's Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 0. Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 0. And full time in the Danish Superliga, Nordsjælland 6, Horsens 0. Try and say that quickly. So I thought there might have been some championship matches on, but there isn't. So that's the whole idea. And who's been disliking the video? Anyway, here come Leipzig now on the far side with number 18 in Kunku. 10 minutes of the second half gone. The throw-in has been taken quickly. And Kunku has possession on the right-hand side. Goes back. Again, patient build-up from the German side. If they strike a goal, it'd be a dream one for them. Here's Werner, 30 yards out. What he might try to shot, a little chip in there. Oh, that might be a penalty. It is a penalty. Silly challenge. Silly challenge there by... It's Lima who's fouled. There's a yellow card out. It's Ben Davies who's brought the man down. It was a very, very silly challenge. Foot up, definitely took the man out. There's no doubt about that. I think referee Kakir's right. I think that's a penalty. I think that's a penalty. And Spurs are in desperate trouble now and will need Hugo Lloris to really bail them out of trouble now, because Red Bull Leipzig with 11 minutes into the second half as Jose Mourinho looks on in anger. His face is like thunder here. Ben Davies has been booked, and quite rightly so. It was a high challenge. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't go through a red. I've seen red gearing in situations like this. Meanwhile, we've got the physio on the field tending to Lima, and Thibaut Werner's going to take the penalty. Lloris will have to go back on his line. He's standing just beyond the 6-yard line, towards about 5 yards from the penalty spot. Werner's placed the ball on the spot, right-footed. And Lloris will have to retreat back to his goal line. Remember, he can't move off the line until the kick is taken. Lloris being told to move back now by referee Kakir of Turkey. Remember, being instructed by the ref. Don't move off your line before the kick is taken. We're watching you, he's saying. And of course, VAR and a million different camera angles will be watching his every move now. Werner against Lloris from 12 yards. Here comes Werner, left foot, right foot, and he sticks it into the left-hand corner. And Red Bull Leipzig are in the lead. And it's a lead, quite frankly, they thoroughly deserved. And it's all Spurs' own making, if I'm being honest. Cracking penalty. And it's the Germans who have advantage here. An away goal as well. Important that. Lloris did guess right, but the penalty was so accurate and so low that Lloris wasn't going to get down in the time to save it. And last season's runners-up are behind here in this last 16 clash. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Red Bull Leipzig 1. And there's no doubt that Davis got none of the ball, plenty of the man. And even if it had gone to VAR, I think they would have said exactly the same thing. Good decision there by Kakir, the referee. So Leipzig in the lead, and if you're looking at the game statistically and from a purist point of view, it's a lead that they've truly deserved, in my opinion. 58 minutes gone. Werner, who should have scored in the first half, has scored a penalty in the second half. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with the other game in between Atalanta. Still 2-0 to Atalanta against Valencia. What a couple of years they're having. They're in the hunt for the Scudetto as well. Atalanta, they're going really well again this year in Serie A. Tell you what, the race for the Scudetto this year is not a foregone conclusion. You've got Atalanta in the mix, you've got Inter Milan in the mix, you've got Lazio in the mix, and Juventus too. And probably AC Milan could get back to their great selves. That would be a nice little 4 or 5 sim. Of course, Roma have just got off it a little bit. Here comes Lo Celso. Good cross inside the penalty area. Try saying 4 fouls and each 4 fouls 4 each by 5. Yeah. Yeah, you try and say that quickly, you get tongue-tied. Anyway, here's Davinson Sanchez away from the goal scorer Werner. Down the near side here. One ball forward. It's in the no man's land where the goalkeeper Golatsky, who made that super save at 0-0 from Lucas Moura, which could have resulted in a different scenario. But having said that, it's a lead that if you look at the way Leipzig have played, and they've been ambitious in the way they've wanted to attack, I've been very impressed with the way they played the game tonight. Spurs have not really offered that much really in terms of ambition. They have had a couple of chances, as I said, but it's not been enough really, to be quite honest for you. VARmatch.com, go away. There are people that just want to ruin stuff for the rest of you, rest of us, and they're not. And they will not be appearing. As the shot comes in, well held by the goalkeeper. Lo Celso with the shot. Just remember, any potential scammers or wommers or whatever, spammers, 6 moderators on at any one time. There's myself, Russ, Chabba Sports, at least 3 of us. Panini as well, making it 4. Although Trevor's gone and done he's just gone and recorded his links for his Saturday's edition of Grandstand on his channel, and he said he will be back shortly. And yeah, he's back now because he's been hidden as well by Trevor Sports. And I wish YouTube would sort all this out. Meanwhile, at the other end, we've got a chance here now. Here's Angelino crossing there, left by Werner. Should be a second. Oh, what a save! What a save to deny! Straight there by Lloris, but it's still Red Bull Leipzig on the attack. They're looking for this killer second. Oh my goodness me! Thank you very much, guys. You see, you don't mess about with our team of our crack team of moderators. You don't mess around with us. And Red Bull Leipzig nearly put them to the sword. Or Tottenham Hotspur to the sword, I should say. 62 minutes gone. And they should be 2 up, Red Bull Leipzig, quite frankly. Lovely play, lovely dummy there and all of that. And really, Schrick should be scoring our left foot. Plenty of time to seize up his options. He could have even done an extra touch there and gone a little further towards Lloris. And he might have had a much better opportunity now then. Will this get Spurs back into life? Well, Julian Nagelsmann's team should be 2 goals clear in looking and have the pipe and slippers on the go here, because this is a great masterclass of attacking play. Tottenham 0, Red Bull Leipzig 1 in the Champions League knockout round. It's Atalanta 4 now, Valencia 0. What an avalanche from Atalanta in Milan tonight. They are absolutely taking Valencia to the cleaners. It's Atalanta 4. Listen to this. Atalanta 4, Valencia 0. This is not a gimmick. It's not a joke. It's actually happening. Atalanta. Brilliant result for them. What a great night for this little Italian club who have had a super last 18 months or so, finishing in the Champions League places, and now are 1 foot, dare I say it, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. What a season they're having. Meanwhile, we're going to see Eric Lamela and Undembele. They're going to be, it's a part of a double substitution, which I've not had confirmed on my screen. I do understand that that one of the players withdrawn is Fernandes. We will get confirmation in just a second or two if Russ can just clear that one up for us. At least I know one of the subs has gone off. I just need the second one. We know that Fernandes has gone off. We need the second sub. We know he's come on. It's just we need that other sub just to keep up to date. Meanwhile, so let me just, as I said, I'm not making anything up. Atalanta 4, Valencia 0. Let me give you the scores whilst here we go. Atabola with 2 goals, 16 and 62 minutes. Ilicic after 42, and Froya after 57. This is some night for Atalanta. This is amazing for them. Dele Alli is the one being substituted, I've been told. So it's Dele Alli that's come off. Boy, is he not happy. Meanwhile, it's 1-0 here. But it's a terrific... It's a terrific night if you're an Atalanta fan, that is for sure. What a result, what a result this is going to be. Going to make the second leg at Mestalla. VAR have disallowed a 5th goal for Atalanta, but what a night they're having now in Milan tonight. Good on them. And Valencia, the quality that they had and the tradition and the history they got, they're no... So Eric Lamela's on for Gedson Fernandes, and Dele Alli's off to replace by Undembele. And as I said, Dele Alli threw his boots down in frustration. Meanwhile, Lucas Moura's been, I think, penalised on the near side. And I don't think they're going to win. I don't think Mr. Kakir of Turkey is going to get a Christmas card or an Easter card off Mr. Mourinho at this moment in time. So Tanguy Undembele is now on. So the subs have been confirmed, but Dele Alli, as I said, just slightly throwing his toys out of the plan as the shot comes in from number 7 there. Sabitzer might go out for a corner. No, stayed in. And out of play it goes. 66 gone. Tottenham, or 66 and a half gone. Tottenham 0. Red Bull Leipzig 1. Champions League last 16. Next week we've got a massive game in the Champions League at the Bernabeu Stadium in Madrid. We're believing Manchester City will go there, knowing that they're probably going to be underdogs against Real Madrid. And we'll be there even on my birthday. I can even find 90 minutes free for a game of this importance. And of course it's good education for me, because Manchester City are also another team, one or two teams that will be focusing on in the next week or so, because it's the League Cup final a week on Sunday. 4:15 our programme from Wembley. We'll have all the build-up, all the hoo-ha that comes up with the build-up, the teams being presented, and then the team presentation at the end of the trophy, and all the stuff we associate League Cup final day. Alan Harvaker, the old league secretary, used to call it the People's Final. There's going to be 90,000 people at Wembley a week on Sunday for what could be a very compelling Carabao final. Anyway, here's Lo Celso for Spurs. Uriye now on the right hand side. Can he get a crossing? No, he can't. Mora was waiting in the middle. And still remains 1-0 at the moment. And it's been an interesting night all around here in this game. Still remains 1-0 as we go into the 60th minute. Remember, we've got the JB Man of the Match to come, so please get your thinking caps on, peeps. Who do you think is going to win Man of the Match? We just lost sound for a second or two. You're not missing anything. So it's still Tottenham 0, Red Bull Leipzig 1. We're now into the 68th minute of the second half. So we've now got now it's all the JB Man of the Match is now on. It's gone so fast that we've We're back on again. Anyway, 1-0. And the ball played out towards the far side, and it's headed on there by number 3, Angelino. Playing a 1-2, then Urier gets back there for Spurs. Don't forget JB man of the match. You know what to do. You know what to do, folks, in terms of voting for it. Name your player and then hashtag it JBMLTM, please. And then the vote will count. And at the 90th minute mark, as usual, we'll tot up the votes, and then of course we'll obviously announce the winner. And Cuckoo is the first vote from Panini, and he's done what he's been asked to do. He set the standard, you guys have to follow. And Cuckoo is our first candidate for man in the match. Whoever gets the most votes wins, and if it's a draw, then it's up to me to have the decisive vote, as the ball is over on the far side, and it's number 22 here, Mukiele, but he's offside. 20 minutes to play. Tottenham 0, Red Bull Leipzig 1. There's going to be a Red Bull Leipzig change. It's their first of the evening, I'm told. Here's Urier now for Spurs. I'm not the man in the match. I'm not the man in the match. I'm just a commentator, and a bloody good one at that, I have to tell you. It's what's out there on the field that counts. I'm no man in the match anyway. Lo Celso for Spurs. It's towards the area. He goes down. Went down a little bit in installments, but it is a free kick. I'm not sure about a yellow card there. Come on, Mr. Kekir. Keep your yellow card in your pocket. It's not a yellow card offence. It's just a normal foul. It's a little shirt tuck, no more no less. And the referee, I'm afraid, is not covered himself in glory. The one big decision he has got right was the penalty decision, and it was the correct decision. Apart from that, I think he's been absolutely diabolical. Anyway, Spurs have a chance. Free kick in the region of about maybe 30 yards out, right of centre. Come on, you Spurs, is the cry. Galassi is building a 4-man wall, is he? Yes, he is. I've not seen enough. Anyway, free kick. And it's a Celso to take it, or Lamela. Or will it be Ndembele? We're in the party here. It's Lo Celso! Good save! Diving away to his left. Or to his right by Galassi. Left-footed strike, and that was going in. It may have just clipped the post. I'm just watching it from a reverse replay angle. Did he get it? Yes, it's hit the post. He's tipped it onto the post. Good save. Actually looks a better save on the first glance. Here comes the corner, far side. Comes out to number 28, Ndembele. Now then, Winks with the cross in there from the far side, and it's turned away in the end. Still 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig. Almost pegged back to 1-1. This game may not be as cut and blow dry as we all thought it might be. Here comes Winks for Spurs. Hits it long over the top up towards the attackers there, and it's a throw in again. Urier to take the throw in. Goes short. Referee's not happy again. I've never seen that one before. This is the save again. Watch how he gets across here. I think that's going in, and the fingertips flicks it onto the post. It's a super save. In fact, it's a substitution. That's why That's right. So Nkunku has just been booked. He's going to be replaced by Idara. Don't forget, if you're going to stay up and watch Pure and Wild, then you have to stay up until the early, very wee small hours. 5 a.m. the fight starts, which is quite ridiculous. As Spurs come charging forward again. Davis trying to keep it in play. Winks takes possession, but loses the ball now to Sabitzer, and then loses it. Davis as well. Still 1-0. On ball forward now, looking towards Ndembele. And Bergwijn as well. And Lamela involved straight away. Good purposeful play. And Lamela, what a turn by Lamela into the area. Chip back, but the ball out of play. In fact, the flag had gone up for an offside against Eric Lamela on the far side, and a goal kick. So far, I'm just saying who it was that voted. Nkunku is the one so far that's been has been voted for. So Lamela penalised for offside. Still 1-0. You're not missing anything at the moment. As Spurs go on the attack again with Harry Winks. Still 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig. The Jimmy Greaves documentary. Yes, I think Jimmy Greaves, a great guy. Sad to hear him going through the motions. You know, he's a great man, a terrific human being, and doesn't deserve the illness he's got at the moment. And we wish Jimmy Greaves all the very best. A terrific guy to the very last. Round of the match, Cuckoo. I think you're referring to Nkunku. Yeah, Nkunku. So that's he's 2 for Nkunku. I understood what you meant to quite clearly. Valencia pulled one back, 4-1, but Atalanta still have a 3-goal advantage anyway. So that's probably immaterial unless Valencia go at it like an express train a week back on March the 10th. The return legs for these 2 matches tonight on the March the 10th. We've seen another substitution as well. This should have been the second one. Schrick is the man coming off. Well denied by Hugo Lloris. Josep Poulsen's going to come on for Red Bull Leipzig now for the final quarter of an hour plus any stoppage time. So it looks as if it could be a JB man in the match to one of the Leipzig players. First time we've ever covered them on the channel. Goal kick to Leipzig, and it's angered a lot of the Spurs fans who felt they should have had a corner, unless Lamela's carried that out of play on the far side. I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look at it again on replay, unless he's fouled his man. I'm not quite sure, but he's certainly got there. Yeah, no, fair enough then. I think that's a fair decision. Anyway, here's Lucas Moura on the ball for Spurs. Trailing 1-0, but they're giving it a good go. Here's Bergwijn trying to get Moura in behind, but good defending there by Haustenberg. Does really well and sees the ball away and ushers it behind the dead ball line for a goal kick for Red Bull Leipzig. 13 minutes plus stoppage time to play. And then we'll be leaving you just in around about 10 minutes from now. As soon as the final whistle goes, we're on our way. And then in a week today is our next live offering. No Premier League football due to the day job. Audio commentary. This is the best you're probably going to get on YouTube. But to us, we're also sending him off anyway. I know people want to watch, but we can't show you any match footage if you actually took the time to go on my actual channel page, you would actually realise the reasons why. There are rules and regs to this channel. Remember, it's a channel of course, it goes without saying, it's a channel for all the family. Still no sign of Mr. Kate. Must be a good show that's on there for him to stay off YouTube tonight. We'll have to get word from him next week what show he saw. Anyway, 11 minutes to go. Still an intriguing last 16 tie this. Spurs not out of it by any means, but you just feel that those missed chances from Red Bull could come back to haunt them. Here's Uriah now for Spurs. Lo Celso takes possession. Here's Uriah again. Trying to get away. Oh, that's surely going to be a foul. That looks like a clear elbow, and the referee, for some reason, has not given it. I don't believe this. Mr. Kakir is having a nightmare. Clear elbow. Clear elbow. That is, for me, a free kick. In any other sort of game, that's a free kick. In a Premier League game, that's a free kick. How is that not a foul there by Halstenberg? This is unbelievable. How is Mr. Kakir getting all these big games? He's clearly not good enough. The only decision he's got right is the penalty, which was the simplest decision he's had to make all night, in fairness. Here's Uriah now for Spurs. Lo Celso. Back into Uriah again. Infield to Ndombele, I should say. Turns away from his man. Can Spurs get themselves an equaliser? He runs into a cul-de-sac and it comes out. I'm sure Uriah was elbowed. And there's a... Well, it's not... I mean, I'm really impressed with some of the football that Red Bull have played, Leipzig have played tonight, but some of this going down, wasting time malarkey is just not on. Let's have some fair play, and it's not, unless he's hurt himself, genuinely hurt himself. But I think that's an elbow. I think that's an elbow by Halstenberg. I think he's a very lucky man, in my opinion. This is the penalty again against Ben Davies. Well, it's the only big decision. It's the only decision in the night that Mr. Keki has got correct. The rest of the decisions have been very dubious indeed. It's fair to say that Mr. Keki will not be on many Tottenham Hotspur's Christmas card lists at the end of this year. As regards Champions League matches, that's 4 goals in 7 Champions League games for Thibaut Werner, including the group phase matches. Matt was in a little collision with Lo Celso just earlier on. At the moment, it's Nkunku is going to be winning our Man of the Match award. There's extra time in the Scottish Cup 5th round replay between Kilmarnock and Aberdeen. 1 apiece. Extra time and penalties will decide matters up at Rugby Park this evening. 8 to play. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Red Bull Leipzig 1. Game not without controversy. This is Ndombele to Lo Celso. Back to Ndombele again. That's surely going to be a Spurs free kick. And now ironic cheers. And now the referee trying to prevent the free kick being taken. Werner's got Russ Burnham's choice for man of the match as Wolfsburg comes on for Lema. The referee, I have to say, his attitude has stunk this evening. I've always questioned the validation of a Turkish official taking charge of a game of this magnitude. It should be the best Italian official. It should be the best Spanish official or the best Scottish official or something like that. This Kakir is not up to it. Anyway, it's Ndombele. No, it's going to be Lo Celso again. Left-footed against the wall this time. Comes to Alderweireld, who was the sort of a zero turned hero on Sunday against Aston Villa. This is Davison Sanchez for Tottenham Hotspur. This is Ben Davies for Tottenham Hotspur. 6 minutes for stoppage time. Just under 7 minutes for stoppage time to go. We'll be with you for another 10 minutes and then that's it for the evening. Long ball forward, and that's going to be out of heroes again. Because Spurs save themselves towards the end. Still got a bit of time left. Aurier now down the left-hand channel. Trying to take on his man Angelino. Whips in, but the cross is into no man's land. And well taken by Golatsky, who made a telling save at the start of the second half, as you may remember, to deny Lucas Moura. At that point the game was at 0-0 and perfectly poised. Still evenly poised going into the second leg within the next week or so, but I think this is not a foregone conclusion by any stretch. Yes, Lucas Moura winning possession, looking to get Lamelo free on that right. It's a free kick to Spurs. Mr. Kakir, rather theatrically pointing for that. And it's 25, maybe 30 yards from goal. It's just to the left of centre. Well, Lo Celso try his luck again. Something must break for Spurs tonight. The second leg is going to be an absolute tall order for Spurs. They've got the capabilities. No, it's not going to be Lo Celso. It's going to be neither Undembele or Lamela. Undembele has the right foot angle and Lamela has the left foot angle. It's going to be left to the left-footed. Lamela takes it over the wall, and it's a great save. It was going inside the right-hand post, and Golatsky gets across there. It may have been going wide, but Golatsky wasn't to know that. Couldn't take the gamble, and Lo Celso now to take a Spurs corner, right-hand side. 5 minutes to go. Tottenham 0, Red Bull Leipzig 1. The corner comes into the area. They appeal a penalty, I think. Well, more the Spurs fans than anything else. Let's have a look on replay. Would have been very soft if it had been given. I think it's just a little bit of a collision, but it's accidental, purely accidental. I think it would have been rather harsh for the ref to have given it, in all due respect. Meanwhile, it's still there's been a goal in the game at Rugby Park. It's Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 2. Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 2. They're playing extra time at Rugby Park at the moment. Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 2. 4 minutes to go to the end here in this first leg. The game not over yet. Remember, there's a second leg on March the 10th. Tuesday, March 10th is the second game. And here's a chance inside the area. Real opportunity there for the number 9 Poulsen, and he gets a corner towards the end. 3.5 minutes to go. And Poulsen, and they got the shot off then. Dare I say, it might have been curtains there for Spurs. The ball deflected, so Poulsen was automatically onside. And there's penalties at Newport between them and Salford City. Place at Wembley up for grabs in that competition as that corner comes in. It's a poor corner. Istanbul's the venue, I think, for the final in this competition. 3 minutes to play. Our coverage of the season ends at Wembley in July 2020 with the European Championships of 2020. What an atmosphere that's going to be. Trevor, as things stand, I think they scored. Didn't they not score 2 in an early game against Bayern Munich? I know they lost 7-2. I don't know. With Kilmarnock in the Scottish Cup have hit back. It's 2-2 between themselves and Aberdeen. That looks a real crackaroonie down there, up there at Rugby Park. This one evenly poised. Remember Spurs came back from the day, you may recall, against Ajax when it looked all over for them there after the first leg of the semi-final and came back. Oh, knockout stages. No, I can't recall a goal being scored, so it's knockout stages. I can't recall him scoring the goal. I don't know. We'll have to check the record books. If someone knows, please send it on a postcard. Anyway, it's Undembele. You might win some Trevor bonds for it if you can come up with the right statistic. Anyway, back to the game. More seriousness now. Here's Lo Celso, edge of the area. And the ball comes back to Lamela. Lamela's crossing into the penalty area. And it comes to Lo Celso again. Davies takes possession. Crosses into the area. Morris waiting and he heads over. What an opportunity that was for Tottenham. 6 yards out. May have gone underneath it. May have been the defender in front of him putting him off. But that was the chance that Spurs were craving. Maybe the jump there by Alstenberg just put off Moura that little bit much. And that was enough. And I think you might be right there, Trevor. I think it was against City. We've got an injury down there. And, well, the whistles and the boos, they're clearly there to waste a bit of time. That's cramp. But let's not forget about the play act. Let's forget about the play acting for a second and just actually stand up and take notice of the way Leipzig have played. They've played very ambitiously. They're quite happy to take the lot. There's 2 players down on the ground, so we've got a stoppage now for 2 players. We've got 1 player down in the 6-yard box for cramp, and we've got another player injured whose nose seems to be hurt or seems to be blooded. The other player is number 26, which is Ampadu. He's limping. The other player is Mukelele. What a night though for Atalanta, of course. Yeah, I should say, Ross, well done on your logo profile. We've got 5 added minutes, incidentally, so we'll be with you until about 5 to 10 this evening. 5 to 10 we go off air. And here comes Red Bull Leipzig, who have done really well. Cheers, Trevor and JB. Leeds United women 6, Bradford City women 0. 7 games unbeaten now, Leeds in the women. You can't delay the news at 10, JB. Well, I can't delay even at... yeah, I can't delay Trevor. I can't delay another Trevor McDonald. I don't think he does it anymore. It's Tom Bradbury who does it now. Anyway, here's Lo Celso now. We're 1 minute and 13 into the 5 added minutes at the end. Been an interesting night's football here down the lane at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's on the side of the old White Hart Lane, of course. Here's Davinson Sanchez now. Spurs desperate for an equaliser if they can find one. Lo Celso round the corner. Moura into space. Ball lost. Comes to Harry Winks now. 25 yards from goal. Strikes it. Right footed straight down the goalkeeper's mid-drift. And still remains 1-0. Still Atalanta 4, Valencia 1. We've played 2 of the 5 minutes at the end. Thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in tonight. It's been great banter fun. Remember, a week tonight we've got the big one. Tie of the round. Manchester City away in Madrid against Atletico Madrid. Might be their last couple of Champions League games for a couple of years. Of course, that's subject to an appeal from the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Their potential 2-year ban from UEFA competition. That includes the UEFA Europa League as well as the Champions League. Newport Salford is still going on, incidentally, down there at Rodney Parade. It's 5-all and penalties as I talk to you now. This is Undembele. Oh, he nearly got it through there to Bergwijn. It's a corner kick. Ampadu getting back there. He's basically playing with one leg practically because he's hopping on the other. His other leg, he's injured, of course. 2 minutes to go now of the 5. And Nkunku has got the man in the match. Well, thank you very much, Russ. Here comes the corner. It's just over everyone's head from the right-hand side and out of play for a goal kick. And it just sums up Tottenham Hotspur's night, really, in a nutshell. 90 seconds of the game to go. And it's a frustrating night for Jose Mourinho's men. They have huffed and puffed, but it's been one of those nights when you're missing a deadly finisher, like two deadly hot shots by like Harry Kane and Son from your side. It was always going to be a bit of a uphill task tonight, but Dele Alli frustrated. You can understand that, but he didn't do himself justice, in my opinion. But Salford are through to the final, I think, 6-5 on penalties. Salford, I think, now go through to Wembley. That final of the Checkered Trade Trophy is played, I think, in mid-March. Whistle's gone at Milan. Atalanta 4, Valencia 1. Just 30 seconds away now from the end. Everyone, thank you to everybody who's been on. Sue, Trevor, Russ, Panini. Don't forget to check out Russ's commentary tomorrow of Man City and West Ham in that game that was called off earlier. Panini's got that Julian Morel to the EFL trophy. But anyway, 10 seconds to go. Can Red Bull Leipzig finish with a flourish at the end? Alderweireld stops him. Now then, a ball forward. Still might be a chance here. And Bergwijn's got through. Now did he go down? No, says the Turkish referee. Play on, he says. We've played the 5 minutes. And I'm afraid that this referee is not going to be the most popular man as the whistle goes. And the crowd, you can hear the noise you can hear from the German supporters. It's finished 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig. The penalty, well, it was clear-cut enough, which won it in the 58th minute. Foul by Ben Davies in the penalty area. And Timo Werner put away the spot kick with some authority. So Nkunku wins our JB Man of the Match award. So a great night for Red Bull Leipzig. The second leg in Germany on the 10th of March. But a frustrating night. Spurs without their two best strikers, Kane and Son, really did struggle. Lucas Moura was the nearest they got. They did hit a post towards the end. But it's an uphill struggle now in the second leg in 2 weeks' time. Thanks to everyone who's joined us. But the 4-time score here, it's a bad night for Tottenham Hotspur. Red Bull Leipzig will win us by a goal to 0. And they are in pole position to qualify for the quarterfinals as things stand. Remember, the next match we've got live on the JB Clark YouTube channel is next weekend, next Wednesday in fact. Real Madrid against Manchester City in the same competition. Till then, have a fantastic evening and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Russ, Trevor, Panini, Sue, absolutely anonymous, Nuke Caton if he comes on later on and watches it back. Thank you very much for all to listen tonight. Have a fantastic rest of your day and I'll see you all soon. Take care. From me, JB, take care. Good night.